Well, I guess I just want to start first by saying, or asking what was the decision like moving to MMA? Why was that decision made, and how long had you been considering that?
Uh, it basically come about after my fight in the boxing ring with Claressa in August 2022. Obviously she's a PFL fighter, MMA fighter, and the PFL approached me after that fight and basically said, "Oh, have you ever thought about doing MMA? Would you consider fighting Claressa in the cage?" And that's what got me to agree to it. If they'd have come to me and said, "Oh, you're interested in joining our league," I'd have said no. I'm 32 year old. I don't want to be going up against girls who are black belt and BJJ, been wrestling since school. I'm not interested. My focus is to fight Claressa in the cage, and that's what got me to sign.
Was there any hesitation even knowing that it was Clarissa? Like, do I really want to do this? This is so different. This is going to take a lot of extra training. Or do you anticipate going in there and being able to dominate on your feet and not really needing all that extra stuff?
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Very early on, when I first started training, I thought, "Wow, this is so different." I didn't realize how different it would be, how hard I would find it. And there has been times when I've come out that gym and I've thought, "This just isn't for me." But look, I'm 9 months on now. I'm 3 weeks away from my debut, and I'm in a good place. I'm excited. I'm loving the training. I'm loving learning every day. And yeah, I'm excited to get in there.
Would you say that it kind of gave you maybe like a new kind of excitement in your life? You've been doing one thing so well for so long, and now you have this new challenge. I can imagine that that must be really rewarding for as many times as you say, I don't think this is for me. Now you're conquering it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, 100%. I've been boxing for 23 years, a long, long time, and just to be taught something so basic but new was something I didn't realize that I needed. I'd go in the boxing gym and I'd do 10 rounds on the bags and not even think about what I was doing. It was just autopilot because I'd done it for so long. So then to learn a new skill from, like I said, basic level, it was frustrating at first, but I've really enjoyed it.
I'm wondering, you see a lot of MMA fighters transitioning into boxing and not as many boxers transitioning into MMA, but the ones that you do see are all women and they're doing really well. There's quite a few that have transitioned into MMA and doing really well. Why do you feel like it's the men aren't doing it?
Oh, I've never thought about that. But like I said, because I think it's because, oh, I don't actually know. Maybe women have got more balls.
That's what I was hoping you would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no ego there. I think the men have their egos are getting in the way.
Yes, yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head 100% because you can't have an ego in this MMA game. No way. I think you get humbled very quickly, very early on. And I think if you don't accept that, it's not for you.
I've also heard Amanda Serrano kind of mentioned that, in MMA, it's a little bit more equal for the women, where in boxing, the women don't get the exact same kind of, push that they do in MMA. I mean, it's still new, but have you found that to be the case? Do you feel like there's some inequality in boxing?
I do, yeah. I think at one point it was slowly getting there, but I think all of a sudden I think it's ground a little bit of a halt again. I think you've got the likes of obviously Jake Paul who is really pushing Amanda Serrano. Um, there's one or two other promoters that are really backing females, but apart from that, the whole sport has to be moving at the same time to the same beat, so to speak, and it's just not there at the minute. Whereas with MMA, yeah, women are getting the same opportunities as men. It's great.
Do you kind of picture yourself doing both boxing and MMA at the same time, kind of how Clarissa's kind of going back and forth, or do you think you're going to do this MMA thing for a little bit and then you'll go back to boxing and maybe not come back to MMA, or do you maybe want to see how this first fight goes before you make that decision?
Yeah, I think we'll know during the 8th. As soon as I get hit in the face with a 4 ounce glove, I think we'll see. We'll go from there.
What are you anticipating from your opponent?
She's coming from a kickboxing background, so look, I'm expecting kicks. I'm expecting punches. I've never seen her take down. Um, and I've never. She knows what she's doing on the floor. She knows what she's doing against the cage. I've never seen her out the first round. Um, she got subbed twice in the first round, and she knocked a girl out in the first 10 seconds. So I don't know what fitness is like, anything like that. But I'm just preparing for the toughest fight of my life, really.
And I guess last question for me. I'm not sure if you're one to make a prediction, but do you have a prediction if you are one that makes one?
I'm not really one for making predictions because obviously you don't know till you get in there. You don't know until you feel someone's strength, how it's going to go, and obviously it's a whole unknown for me. I've never been in the cage before. I've never, like I said, I've never been hit with armed gloves. But I'm quite confident in my power. I'm confident in the speed. I'm confident in my technique and my ability. And I know if I land clean on someone, I hurt them. So I think we'll just leave it there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Have a great
Bye
day.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.